Number 10 leads us to Hawthorne Julius Bjornsson. He's widely recognized for his portrayal of the Mountain on the TV series Game of Thrones, and he's an imposing figure that stands at 6 feet 9 inches tall. With a weight exceeding 400 pounds, he possesses remarkable physical strength. Hawthorne is renowned as a strongman, showcasing his exceptional power and prowess in various competitions that he takes part in. Notably, he has achieved the extraordinary feat of deadlifting nearly 1,000 pounds, showcasing his immense strength and dedication to his craft. Hawthorne Julius Bjornsson's towering presence and awe-inspiring feats have definitely captivated audiences around the world. Moving on to number 9, we have Margot Dok. Margot Dok was a talented Polish basketball player, and she held the distinction of being the tallest female basketball player in history, standing at an impressive 7 feet 2 inches. Her towering stature and exceptional skills on the basketball court made her a prominent figure in the sport. Tragically though, her life was cut short when she suffered a heart attack back in 2011, resulting in her untimely passing. And despite her premature departure, Margot Dok's impact as a remarkable athlete and her contribution to the game of basketball will always be remembered. Coming down to the number 8 spot, we have Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant, whose real name is Andre Rene Rousimov, he was a legendary figure in the world of professional wrestling. Recognizably for his towering height and immense size, he stood at an impressive 7 feet 4 inches and weighed approximately 500 pounds. Prior to his acting role in the popular film The Princess Bride, Andre the Giant had already established himself as a prominent wrestler. In 1987, he participated in a historic match against Hulk Hogan at the Silver Dome, which drew an astounding crowd of 90,000 spectators. This event remains one of the largest attendances for a wrestling match in history. Andre the Giant's larger-than-life persona, both in the ring and on the big screen, left a lasting impact on pop culture. His remarkable stature and undeniable charisma continue to captivate audiences even today. Coming in at the number 7 spot, we have Yao Ming. Yao Ming was a renowned professional basketball player hailing from China, and he stands taller than Shaq, measuring at an impressive 7 foot 6 inches in height. Despite his towering stature, Yao faced a premature retirement from the sport in 2011, primarily due to persistent joint and foot injuries. In the United States, he showcased his skills as a member of the Houston Rockets, while in Shanghai, he played for the Shanghai Sharks, representing both his home country and his passion for the game of basketball. Yao Ming's career left an indelible mark on the sport, and his remarkable physical presence on the court is going to always be something to remember. Number 6 leads us to Brock Brown. He was a teenager from Michigan and had been diagnosed with a rare genetic disorder known as Soto syndrome. This condition leads to rapid and excessive growth, causing Brock to add 6 inches to his height each year. Currently standing at an impressive 7 feet 8 inches, he continues to grow. And the continuous growth and unique height present challenges for Brock and his family, particularly in terms of clothing and footwear, of course. Due to his extraordinary stature, everything he wears must be custom made, which has become a significant financial burden for his family. Next up at number 5, we have Ibrahim Takulala. Ibrahim Takulala, hailing from Morocco, stands at a remarkable height of 8 feet 1 inch. However, his claim to fame goes beyond his towering stature. Ibrahim also holds a title for having the largest feet in the world, with a shoe size of European size 58. Finding appropriate footwear becomes a significant challenge for Ibrahim, as you could imagine. The rarity of his shoe size means that it is not readily available in regular shoe stores, and this unique situation further adds to the difficulties that he faces due to his extraordinary height. Ibrahim, like other extremely tall people, experienced the effects of acromegaly, which is a pituitary gland disorder, and this condition causes excessive growth and enlargement of certain body parts. Vino Millerin comes next at number 4. He's recognized as one of the tallest men in history, and he reached an impressive height of 8 feet 4 inches. At the time of his passing in 1963, he held the title of the world's tallest man. Notably, Myllynen served in the Finnish army, making him the tallest recorded soldier in history. His remarkable stature and military presence have left a lasting legacy, marking him as an extraordinary individual whose physical attributes made him stand out in history. Like literally. Coming up at the number 3 spot, we have John Carroll. John Carroll, famously known as the Giant of South Buffalo, was an extraordinary individual standing at a towering height of slightly over 8 feet. When factoring in his curved spine, his height extended to over 8 feet 7 inches. Alongside his remarkable stature, John faced the challenge of a pituitary gland disorder. Despite his physical handicaps, he was widely recognized as a wonderful, happy person. Occupying the role of a park superintendent, he became affectionately known by the locals as Big Red, owing to his distinctive red hair. John's admirable resilience and ability to navigate his demanding medical condition with grace earned him a lasting place in the hearts of those who knew him. Coming down to the number 2 spot, we have Vikas Uppal. Vikas Uppal, widely recognized as the tallest man in India, possessed an extraordinary height that continued to increase throughout his adult life. As of the last reported measurement in 2005, he stood at a staggering height of 8 feet 9 inches tall. Although his height was not officially recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records, his remarkable stature garnered significant attention. Tragically, Vikas Uppal passed away in 2007 while undergoing an unsuccessful operation to address a brain tumor. His untimely demise marked the end of a life characterized by unique physical attributes and the enduring curiosity of those who were aware of his exceptional height. In the number 1 spot, we have Robert Pershing Wadlow. He was known as the Giant of Illinois, and he holds the distinction of being the tallest man in recorded history. Born in 1918, Wadlow was diagnosed with gigantism, which is a condition characterized by excessive growth shortly after his birth. His extraordinary height surpassed that of both his parents by the age of 6. And in 1936, he embarked on a tour with the Ringling Brothers Circus, captivating audiences with his remarkable stature. His immense height took a toll on his body, and he required special leg braces to aid in walking. And he had also lost all sensation in his feet. At the time of his passing, Wadlow reached a final height of 8 feet 11 inches tall, making him a towering figure, of course, and he stands out in history quite literally. Number 10 brings us an incident with a mountain lion. Officials reported that a mountain lion entered a residence in Santa Rosa on November 28, 2022, and proceeded to drag a dog outside. Now, the wild animal was eventually euthanized by a trapper from Sonoma County on December 3rd, 2022. Ken Paglia, the spokesperson for the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, confirmed that a depredation permit had been issued to the county for this particular animal, which had also eaten goats on the same property. Now, Rebecca Cracker, who was the owner of the dog and the goats, recounted the mountain lion's attack, stating that while she was in the living room observing her 2 dogs at play, her older border collie began growling in the kitchen, and that's when she went to go and look, and then she saw it being dragged outside by the mountain lion. The mountain lion had gained access to the home through an open kitchen door. Number 9 leads us to an incident with a bear. Upon returning home, a homeowner in Connecticut received an unexpected surprise. A bear had made its way into his West Hartford residence. Bill Priest, the homeowner, managed to overcome all of his shock and quickly grabbed a chair to create a barrier between himself as well as the bear. With some coaxing, he successfully guided the bear out through the front door. During its time inside the home, the bear made itself quite comfortable, and Bill Priest revealed that it had indulged in an entire bag of marshmallows and other snacks. Now, the bear ended up returning to the property 24 hours later, attempting to enter the home again, but it was unable to do so, that sneaky bear. Fortunately though, no injuries were reported. Coming up at number 8, here we have a moose. Barbara Nichols' typical morning routine unfolded in her Soldotna, Alaska residence as usual. She said, on a regular morning, I let the dog outside and I never shut the door all the way, so he came back in himself. Her dog, Jessie, returned to the house. However, this time he brought an unexpected companion along. To Barbara Nichols' surprise, a moose, which typically reaches an average height of about 6 feet in Alaska, entered her living room. And she said this: "He came walking into the living room. I stood up and took about 2 steps and realized there was a huge moose in my house that had just followed Jessie in." Subsequently, Barbara contacted the police, who arrived and assisted in coaxing the moose out of the house. Coming down to the number 7 spot, we have a gator. No homeowner ever wants to experience this. This incident in Florida left a 77-year-old woman startled when she discovered an 11-foot alligator in her kitchen early Friday one morning. Mary Weisshusen, the homeowner, was awakened around 3:30 a.m. by a loud crash in her Clearwater, Florida residence, and upon investigating, she found herself face to face with a massive reptile. The male alligator had entered through some low windows in the kitchen, according to the Clearwater Police Department, and feeling alarmed, the homeowner promptly locked herself in her bedroom and dialed 911. However, she wasn't the first to notice the situation. Patricia P. Cora, who was a newspaper delivery person in the neighborhood, spotted the alligator attempting to enter the sewer, and this was before it broke into the house, so she also had called 911. Now, the gator was eventually removed from the home without causing any harm, so that was a good thing. Number 6 spot takes us to an incident involving a bobcat. Upon returning home, a homeowner in San Manuel, Arizona received an unexpected surprise when they discovered a bobcat comfortably just lounging in their dog's bed. The Arizona Game and Fish Department in Tucson shared pictures of the bobcat on Twitter, providing details about the incident. According to the agency, the homeowner suspected that the bobcat had entered through an unlocked doggy door. Unfortunately, the bobcat managed to escape before an officer could arrive at the scene, so it's just out roaming loose. Now, the Arizona Game and Fish Department took the opportunity to remind citizens not to handle or approach trapped or injured wildlife. They urge people to promptly contact the authorities in such situations. From there, we move on to a kangaroo. Manfred Sabinskas, a wildlife rescuer, compared the aftermath of a kangaroo breaking into an Australian home to a chilling scene from Alfred Hitchcock's iconic movie Psycho. Manfred Sabinskas, he was greeted by a very distressing scene, and he recalls, "As soon as we entered the home, we could see blood on the walls. There was blood all over the carpet, and I saw into the laundry and there was blood splattered everywhere." The kangaroo had dashed through the house in a state of panic, causing significant damage and leaving chaos everywhere it went. Eventually, the exhausted animal collapsed into the washroom, and that's where the surprised family managed to lock the door and alert the police. Mafi Akohavo, a member of the family who was awakened by the commotion, expressed his astonishment, stating that he had never encountered a kangaroo before this incident. In the number 4 spot, let's talk about this turkey that broke into this home. Captured on video footage, a turkey's wild rampage both inside and outside of an Ohio home left the Miami Township Police Department receiving an unprecedented call on the evening of Monday, October 3rd, 2022. Body cam footage from one of the officers documented the scene, and the officers discovered a large turkey occupying one of the rooms. The turkey had forcefully entered the home, causing books and papers to scatter across the floor. Meanwhile, the homeowner also recorded the incident. The officer pursued the turkey armed with a large net, and then the officer eventually was able to capture the turkey, which was entangled in a net. They proceeded towards the door, passing an overturned piece of furniture, all while the bird continued its struggle. And then upon reaching the doorway, the turkey suddenly burst free from the net, landing on the floor and swiftly flew back into the room. And the turkey escaped through a broken window, bringing this whole ordeal to an end. Coming down to number 3 spot, we have an incident with a black bear. Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency reported that a black bear broke into a rental home in downtown Gatlinburg, Tennessee, attacking a man who was inside. The incident occurred around 11 p.m. on Sunday, October 23rd, 2022, and the bear gained access to the house through a set of French doors that were locked but not deadbolted. The bear charged at the man inside and in the kitchen, swatted at him, causing severe injuries. Fortunately, the man was able to secure himself inside of a bedroom where he called 911. The Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency successfully trapped and euthanized the black bear. Coming down to the number 2 spot, we have an elephant. In an extraordinary incident on June 26, 2022, a wild elephant in a neighborhood caught a captivating scent and followed its nose to a particular home in the district, and the event was captured by a security camera inside of the house. The footage shows a calm and empty kitchen until an elephant trunk suddenly pierces through one of the walls from the outside and starts exploring the kitchen space. Guided by its senses, the trunk discovers some treats and proceeds to carefully extract them. Eventually, the entire upper body of the elephant bursts into the room. After satisfying its appetite with the stolen goodies, the elephant casually wanders away. Now, Samuel Babu, the homeowner, shared that he and his family were upstairs asleep when they heard the elephant forcefully break through the kitchen wall. Ending this episode off at number 1, we have a snake. So in early 2023, a homeowner in Gladstone, Queensland, Australia discovered a dangerous eastern brown snake inside her washing machine. The snake catcher called to handle the situation described the homeowner as nervous and shaken up. Tom Madden from the Madden's Gladstone Regional Reptile Catcher stated that he spotted the snake's head at the top of the washing machine near the electrical components. Carefully prodded and coaxed the snake out, allowing it to exit on its own before swiftly capturing it in a snake catching bag. Eastern brown snakes are notorious for their venomous bites and are responsible for more snake-related fatalities in Australia than any other species. They tend to react very defensively when they feel threatened. Number 10 leads us to the Megalania. Megalania is also known as the giant ripper lizard, and it was a massive prehistoric lizard that roamed Australia between 2.6 million years all the way down to 50,000 years ago. Now, it was one of the largest terrestrial predators of its time, measuring up to 23 feet in length and weighing up to 2,200 pounds. Megalania had sharp, serrated teeth that could slice through flesh and bone with ease. And it's believed that Megalania was likely a stealth hunter, using its keen sense of smell to track down prey before launching a surprise attack. Megalodon comes in at number 9. This is a prehistoric shark that lived approximately 2.6 to about 3.6 million years ago until it went extinct. And it was one of the largest predators that have ever existed, with an estimated length of up to 60 feet, which works out to be 18 meters, and it weighs around 60 tons. Megalodon's powerful jaws contained up to 276 teeth, which could reach 7 inches or 18 centimeters in length, and it was a carnivorous predator that primarily fed on whales, dolphins, and other marine mammals. Coming in at the number 8 spot is the terror bird. So these terror birds were a group of flightless carnivorous birds that lived in South America during the Cenozoic era. They were the dominant predators on the continent for about 1 million years, and some species grew up to 10 feet tall and weighing up to 1,000 pounds. With powerful legs, sharp beaks, and massive bodies, these birds were definitely formidable hunters, likely preying on other large animals such as mammals and reptiles. But despite their name though, terror birds, they were not actually birds of prey, but rather what they would do is chase and kill their prey on the ground. They are believed to have gone extinct around 1.8 million years ago, possibly due to competition with other predators or the changes in the climate. The animal at number 7 is Smilodon. Smilodon is also known as the saber-toothed tiger, and it's a genus of extinct predator felids that lived in North and South America from the early Pleistocene epoch to the end of the last glacial period. It's of course one of the most iconic prehistoric animals, and the Smilodon is well known for its long, sharp canine teeth that could grow up to 11 inches in length. Also, it's believed that the Smilodon, they primarily hunted large herbivores like bison, horses, as well as camels. And as a matter of fact, despite being called a saber-toothed tiger, Smilodon is not actually a true tiger because it lacks the ability to retract its claws like modern tigers and other cats. The species is estimated to have gone extinct around 10,000 years ago. Sarcosoccus comes up next. Now, they're also known as the flesh crocodile, and it was a massive prehistoric reptile that lived approximately 112 million years ago. The ancient predator was one of the largest crocodile-like animals to ever roam the planet, with an estimated length of up to 40 feet or 12 meters and weighing over 8 tons. It also had a very long and powerful snout, and it was filled with razor-sharp teeth that it used to grab and kill its prey. Its size as well as its strength allowed it to take down even the largest dinosaurs that roamed in the same habitat.
Now, you might have heard that Bengal tigers are known to be, human man-eaters and they'll just kill you. However, that is too far from the truth, as these creatures generally stay away from mankind, and for good reasons. So the question is, are these animals going extinct? And if so, what would be one of the reasons? Well, that would be because of man. One of the major problems when it comes to these endangered animals is the space we occupy doesn't match their diet. Because the truth is, these animals need to hunt, and they need a lot of land to do that. It is known that most of the conservation areas around the world are not large enough to support more than 250 male adults per conservation area, which makes it one of the hardest reasons to repopulate the species. But when we talk about these animals being endangered, we gotta ask ourselves how many of them are left. In 2011, scientists estimated there were about 2,500 of these creatures left on the planet. But however, the World Wildlife Fund estimates that as of today, it has increased to about 3,890. However, it's not quite an accurate figure. About 100 years ago, these beasts roamed all of places such as India, Bangladesh, Nepal. But since the major expanses of human settlement and agriculture in the 1940s, most of these tiger habitats have become destroyed or greatly threatened. However, it is not just our ignorance and our human expansion and progress that is destroying these animals. But however, it's our thirst for vanity and conquest, and within that vanity lies trophies. Poaching, even in today's world, is still a dangerous thing to these animals, as people will use their unique skin for decorative rugs. And one thing that's to know, although some of these creatures are within protected zones, they are still hunted within them. But speaking of conservation, one of the first conservation acts being put in place was the Indian Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 and the Tiger Project of 1973. And as of 2014, there are 48 reserves in India for these animals, with India promising to spend $143 million to continue to protect the Tiger Initiative. Now keep in mind that's just India. There's also other countries like China, Nepal, and South Africa that are doing efforts as well. Many of them who have communities and organizations to stop poaching, relocate human settlements, and lower destruction of habitat for these creatures. But currently, the Bengal tiger stands at being an endangered species, and hopefully with the progress of new technologies and of course the awareness and communication with other human beings around the planet, we may one day allow these animals to flourish within their environment. Did you know since 1958 to 2014 there have only been 2,778 accounts of unprovoked shark attacks? And out of those attacks, only 497 of them have been fatal. Hey guys, what's going on? Dave Walpole here. Welcome to another episode of FTD Facts. Today, we're talking about sharks. Normally we talk about boobs, but today, I wanted to talk about sharks. It's Shark Week! Guys, I want to know, what is your favorite type of fish? Let me know down there in the comments below. The poisonous Greenland shark. Now, a lot of people have always said you cannot eat this shark. It's too poisonous, it will kill you. But as a matter of fact, you can actually eat it. You just have to prepare it right. And in order to do so, it takes 5 months to prepare and is quite a delicacy in Greenland. Did you know that the Aztecs apparently mastered sharks? Now, they might have been pets, who really friggin' knows? The only thing that they do know is that archaeologists discovered shark body remains under the Aztec Great Temple. Under the Aztec Great Temple, yeah! Did you know that for sharks, the female is larger than the male? Ooh, sorry guy, but you're just a little small. Now, we all call sharks silent killers, but Why? Well, that's because sharks actually don't have any vocal cords. They really can't talk. So when they sneak up on you, they just bite you instead of talking. Next up, guys, let's go a little prehistoric. Yeah, because you know, we can't forget about the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs are just friggin' awesome. And when it comes to dinosaurs, we're talking about sauropods. They are the biggest. They got those long necks like Brachiosaurus. But the biggest sauropod ever found was the Giraffatitan. It was discovered in 1907 and 1912. It's 39 feet tall, weighs 39.5 tons. Now remember, that's not 100% because they're not completely accurate on how much their skin and muscle weighed. What about birds, guys? Birds gotta be incorporated in this because they're majestic little creatures that like to fly around. Well, the biggest one actually doesn't really fly. That's right, we're talking about the ostrich. Poor bugger can't really fly, but man, can it ever run. These things can get as big as 9 feet and weigh 344 pounds. And for being such a heavy bird, they can go 70 kilometers per hour. That's a lot faster than you and me. Next up, let's talk about arthropods. We're talking about the Japanese spider crab, which is the biggest of arthropods. They are the largest of its size with an arm span of 12 feet. Man, you could like box somebody from a good distance if you wanted to. And on top of that, they weigh 42 pounds. And next to humans, they not only look ugly, but we look pretty small. Guys, I'm going with the two biggest things on the planet. And you guys might not know what they are. They're not actually animals. The first one we're gonna talk about are these trees. They're called pando trees. Not panda trees, not panda trees, not panda trees. These are massive grove trees that are interconnected with each other via stems. They are found in Utah's Fish Lake National Forest. Now they figured out that although they are connected, they come from one seed. And the organism itself has over 47,000 stems, which they think weighs 6,600 tons. And on top of that, they estimate the organism is over 80,000 years old. And last but not least, guys, let's talk about the biggest thing. It's not a tree, it's not a person, it's not an animal, it's a fungus. More precisely, the honey fungus. Similar to the pando trees, it's all interconnected. Found in the Blue Mountains of Oregon, they say it is the largest organism on the entire planet. These are tiny little mushrooms, and when they die, they all die together. As for the organism's age, they estimate that it's only about 2,400 years old. The total weight of the colony might be as much as 605 tons. But keep in mind, these are little funguses, little mushrooms that keep a lot of water weight. So if you took away the water, it would be nothing compared to the pando tree.